Hey, ladies and gentlemen, see? S-REITs has finally rebound. You notice that the jump from Wednesday onwards, right up to Friday, has been very stupendous. It's actually the sharpest rebound that we have seen in the last 2 years. Now, it is therefore the worst of the S-REITs finally over for almost 2 years of terrible doldrums going lower and lower. Well, ladies and gentlemen, exactly what we have warned you about. Look, in our last video, we told you go for holidays. That's what we have done. We went to Croatia, we went to Bosnia, Montenegro, we explored the Balkans. Right now, we are at Melbourne home. What we told our participants at GCP Global is that you should be buying when there were blood on the street. Exactly what we told you in the last video. So, having actually predicted this downturn correctly and accurately, where do we see the fourth quarter? Well, we are basically not that bearish anymore, because one, our objective has been hit, as what Mr. Yo has actually pointed out. I think it's time, to actually enjoy this bearishness, because it's present buying opportunities. So essentially, this is something that we look forward to because we think that one, mean reversion will happen, in the fourth quarter of this year. So again, look back at this chart, when the market hit the bottom on the 21st of October last year, you notice that it then rallied for a substantial November, December, January, and February before it hit a high, on 3rd of February. And that's where, for those of you who have been attending our classes, we told you to actually take profits. So you can see then, that trading rates in interest rate environment, increased interest rate environment, is actually and can be profitable. So hope that you enjoyed today's episode and join us for our next class. So the key goal is that you don't need to be too negative right now. Prices are actually your best defense, according to Warren Buffett, in terms of the margin of safety. And this is exactly where you have it. And that's why you see, ladies and gentlemen, we are like smiling throughout in this week's video because what we have predicted has happened. But now you must seize the day and seize the opportunity. Now, this is again not a buy recommendation, but once again, it's just our view because essentially, when will the market turn, and what are the best players to position in, best REITs to be positioned in? This, of course, is something that we cover in detail in our class on 2nd of December. Do join us then. Strengthen your REIT portfolio every day. Don't forget to make it resilient. So you can see, ladies and gentlemen, being able to pick the right timing for S-REITs is key and crucial in growing your wealth in S-REITs. Essentially, this is something that we have been teaching since the last 34 years, So, ladies and gentlemen, going ahead now, maybe the worst is over. So what do you need to do then? There are few crosshairs that you may have, and doubts that you actually have, which we'll of course address in our 2nd December class, our last class for the year. So do join us and sign up for the early bird special while you still can at this particular website. But essentially, some of the few crosshairs that you'll be thinking now is that, wow, if the rebound is going to be very sharp, and to what extent will the rebound be? When is the time to at least take a little profit after 2 years of doldrums? That's point number one. As you can see, ladies and gentlemen, from this chart, since the 26th of October low, we have tracked for you the jump in the multiple and the percentage increase in each of the S-REITs. As you can see, the more active ones, the better S-REITs that we trade very actively. These are the ones that posted near the 10% return, some of them even more than 10%. That's what we have told you in, again, our last video in October. Now, does it mean that you should be taking profits? Has the fundamentals changed? And with the latest set of results that was released in the 3rd quarter of the year, have anything changes? Well, I'll just give you a clue. In fact, other than two REITs, the cost of funds, which have plagued S-REITs, in the last 2 years, has been tremendous. So all S-REITs practically reported a surge in the cost of funds. Now, to what extent will they impede your DPU performance and therefore share price performance this year and next year? Well, we'll cover this in our class on 2nd of December. So once again, do sign up and catch the early bird special. So essentially, the next crosshair you'll be looking at is that, well, if share price have rebounded, to what extent should you be taking profit? Two is that has the fundamentals changed? And we did actually tell you that the fundamentals will be affected by higher financing costs, higher gearing ratio. And then thirdly, which are the REITs that essentially has been so bad? Remember in life there's always the good, the bad, and ugly. What about the bad REITs which has been smashed down so badly? Of course they will rebound, but is it actually worth the risk to be getting into some of them? When you think that some of the fundamentals may not change at all, or even take a long time to change. Good example is that, can you imagine, ladies and gentlemen, 5 years ago when I wrote my book, Making a Millions in REITs, I warned that Manulife REIT, at that time trading close to $1, will be, is a REIT to be avoided. And true enough, the share price was slashed down to as low as not even 10 cents, ladies and gentlemen. It was 5 cents. Yes, Gojiam, on 26th of October. And right now, of course, it's rebounded close to 10 cents. But what's the big deal? Do you actually throw in bad money after good, or rather, do you throw in good money after bad money in this kind of so-called not so good REITs? Well, this is something that we'll cover in our classes. So does this mean that the likes of Elite, the likes of EC, World REIT, the like of Prime REIT actually fall into this category? Well, this is something that we'll explore deeply in our classes. So once again, do join us next week for our video, as we will touch on which are the REITs that will recover the fastest, and also keep tabs for you, essentially whether the rebound that we expect to continue next week will continue in accordance with what we expected. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, the market throws at you any possibility, but you as an investor must be prepared for all eventualities, something that we teach in our investment classes. Once again, till next week, give us a thumbs up, subscribe, and join us for our class on 2nd of December. Adios and cheers from our home in Melbourne. Look around, you can see which are the tall and which are the short. Similarly, for your REITs that have jumped the most in this last week, do you take your profits, or do you look at those that you want to retain with the latent strength that you want to have in your portfolio? Once again, join us next week. We will delve deeper into that, and do sign up for our classes if you're interested to make and maximize your profits.